I am Liz Krause, your financial care advocate here at ABQ Family Chiropractic. I'm married to my wonderful husband, Zachary, and we have 2 kids together, and I believe in chiropractic. So when I did my first exam, we did the neurological and orthopedic testing. I'd gone to chiropractors before, and I had never done any of those things. They pretty much were like, you know, come in twice a week. And I was like, okay, doctor, you know. And so when I did those tests, it really got to kind of the root of the cause of some of my problems. And I had just had like months and months, I think it was 8 months of tonsillitis, like straight. And with like countless rounds of antibiotics, different kinds of antibiotics, and then I had eventually gotten my tonsils removed, and it didn't fix whatever was going on, and I was still getting these horrible sores and swelling and all this stuff in my throat. And once I started getting adjusted, he was like, and did all my scans and stuff, he was like, yeah, like, so this can cause all of these things that I was already experiencing that I didn't actually talk to him about at all beforehand. And so I felt that the universe told me, no, I mean, his, you know, his doctor of chiropractic degree told him, but you know, it was kind of like, how did you know? When I was growing up, I had frequent chronic ear infections. I was constantly sick as a kid, which is what we believe to be normal for children up until about the age of 10. And then we're like, if you get sick, it's a little weirder. And so, yeah, up until about 10 or 12, I think is on most medications, is when you can start taking like adult medications. So up until the age of 10, they're just like, yeah, you're sick all the time, whatever. So yeah, my stepdaughter has frequent and chronic ear infections. And so when she first got one, I was like, this is not something that I want you all, her family, to think is normal, because I went through it all my life, and it's not. And I was very insistent that anything, I was like, anything, something, I don't care what it is, you gotta find an answer that's not what happened to me. And I was like, hey, antibiotics really messed me up when I was a kid and up into my adult life, and I really don't want that for her. And so we had to have like a lot of fights. And I mean, my stepdaughter now, she was 18 months old when I started that fight, and she's 4 now, she'll be 5 in September. And we just got her in to the chiropractor because a couple months ago, she had an ear infection in her left ear. Took her antibiotics for a week. The next week, had one in her right ear. Took her antibiotics for a week. The next week, had double ear infections that next week. And so I was like, there's gotta be a better option, and I know there is, because I work in a chiropractor's office where we focus solely on education and teaching that, you know, specifically children have all of these problems, and that new moms and moms in general are told are normal and they're okay, and they're not. And so it created a whole attitude change and shift when she started to get adjusted, because her nervous system was not experiencing those subluxations, those blocks. She hasn't had a single ear infection. Mood-wise, she's very happy. She's great at listening. She makes eye contact now. If a new mom was having a gut feeling that told her that everything was wrong, or that something was wrong, what they were telling her about their child was wrong, I would tell her, listen to your gut. And even if chiropractic doesn't sit well with you, even if that to you feels wrong, don't do it. Like, as moms, we are always like told what to do. And there is 100% a natural instinct to do what is best for your child, no matter what that feels like to you. And while chiropractic gave me the answers I've been looking for, and so many moms and children, the answers they're looking for, and I will be like chiropractic to the day I die, especially for moms and pregnant women and children, because the result is just, it's there, and you cannot deny it. The science is there, and you can't deny it. Always listen to that instinct, because That's what keeps your kids safe. That's what makes moms realize that their kids are in the street and you don't even know how you knew it. That's the type of thing that, lets you know you need to lift a car up. That's the kind of thing that saves lives and that, gives us miracles every day with mothers and children. Like you can just divine sometimes, and there's not always like a science to that, I'll tell you. I know it's all hormones and stuff, but you can divine when something is not right with your children. And you can tell that when you hear something, you can feel it with like your whole being. You're just like, no. And if you feel that, go get some more answers. Go look somewhere else, because that no is so strong in you. And I know it is because it was so strong in me. When people would tell me things, I'd be like, no. And then everyone was like, she's just difficult. No, the answer is no. And you're like, that is not a good answer. That is not good enough. And I need better for my children. And when you get that feeling, that is a positive thing. That is something you should never ignore. That means that with your whole being, for the maybe even the first time in your whole life, you are 100% all in on something. And do not ever turn away from that. No matter how much they discourage you, no matter how many times they tell you that you're just being difficult, or that, you're making it up, or you just need to drink more water, eat less salt, like whatever it is, find an answer for it that feels right to you, that makes sense for you and your children, that gives you the answers you're looking for, and that can yield some results to give your children like the best possible life that they could ever lead.